as we progress in researching and discovering new things, as with this conference today, and as with microRNAs or stress-related proteins, or thinking and better gene expression, the question that is asked is whether all this knowledge is new or whether indications of what we are seeing today were already known. Did people know about this? For instance, we talk about this Congress here today, the vegetarian diet and VegMed, impact of vegetarian food on health and medicine. Is this new, or is this aspect of vegetarianism old? Has it been understood by people? When we go across the world, we find that people have appreciated dietary changes and have preferences in different parts of the world, and in particular, India. India is home to, as we see today, home to a lot of people, 1.2, tending towards and growing fast, 1.2 billion people. A majority of them still live a vegetarian diet, follow a vegetarian diet. Where does this thinking come from? And is it just common knowledge, or has it been systematized? Is this knowledge systematized and available in texts? And in India, when we go and search through, we find that systematization of this common knowledge has happened in some instances over 3,000 years or more ago. So at the time when Buddha, 600 BC or before, when he was there, we were already into the period in India where scholars were writing in old ancient languages, Pali, and they were documenting this knowledge and discussing and refining this knowledge. And out of this knowledge comes what the world appreciates today as Ayurveda. Ayurveda, or the science of life. Ayurveda to the world offers the oldest system of medicine and wellness as far as mankind knows. Ayurveda, the textbooks of Ayurveda, which date back to more than 2,500 years ago, are the oldest textbooks of medicine. Ayurvedic knowledge has migrated from India through the routes possibly into Arabia, and from there into other parts of Europe, and influenced textbooks of medicine here in Europe. What does Ayurveda say about food and systems of food? There are different comments made in Ayurveda about the connection between food and health and food and medicine. And one of the strongest comments that is made is that food is medicine. And there is another comment that's made that if you eat good food, you will never need medicine. And if you don't eat good food, no medicine will work for you. So there are comments of this kind that we find in these texts which emphasize the importance of food. Now, where does this thinking come from? So this thinking is within the systematized texts in the textbooks of Ayurveda. It might seem that this knowledge comes out of even older texts. The oldest reference to food and food in health and the importance of food can be found in older documents like the Upanishads. And in particular, I want to raise one Upanishad, which is called the Taittiriya Upanishad. In the third section of the Taittiriya Upanishad, we don't know how old these Upanishads are, but they are very, very ancient, well before the Ayurveda texts were put together. In the third section of the Taittiriya Upanishad is mention of the connection between man and food. Now, this is a very interesting connection, and I would just want to spend a few moments just describe what this connection is and how the texts describe this connection. The texts say in the following way, that all life comes from life. If you don't have life, you cannot have life. That is statement number one. Statement number two is all life requires food. So if you then take, it's like a theorem, it's like mathematics. If you take statement 1 and statement 2, you can derive statement 3. Statement 3 automatically becomes that food is your oldest relative. The logic is, so let me go through the logic again. All life comes from life. All life requires food. Therefore, food is your oldest relative. And therefore, food is God. Food is the most important thing. Food and the connection with you. You are food. Now, this thinking has been taken into Ayurveda and turned, and also into another system of medicine in India, yoga, which in India forms a system of wellness, how to keep the body well. And it's been converted into two kinds of thinking. So in Ayurveda, it says all food is taken into the body. From the mouth to the end of your alimentary canal is one big tube. And it makes you think about how the universe runs through you. You are a tube. One end, something comes in, and it's digested, and it's taken away, and the waste products are thrown out to the other end. And all the requirements for the body are then absorbed in between. So, in a way, the whole world runs through your body, and you decide what you want. Your senses go and reach certain things. Your senses are connected to the outside, and they bring things to you. Now, this kind of logic has evolved into a system of healing, how you heal yourself with food, what you should eat, what you should not eat. With experimentation and experiencing things, people have worked on and developed these texts. Now, in particular, I want to show the kind of thinking and this kind of specialization that you find in Ayurveda when it comes to food. And this food is related to maternal health and neonatal health, the child's health, and the health of the child in later life based on what the mother eats and does not eat. Ayurvedic texts from thousands, 2,500 years or more, specify very clearly what the mother should eat and should not eat for every month of the pregnancy. In Sanskrit, it's called Garbhini Parcharya, the rules for the pregnant woman. Now, this is given 2,500 years ago, what the mother should and should not eat. Now, if you look at it initially, it just looks like an ordinary set of recommendation that any dietitian could have done. But the surprising thing is that when we look at it through the eyes of modern biology, and we look at the recipes and the foods that are recommended, you will find that there are certain foods that are given at a specific time when the fetus and the organs in the fetus are developing. Now, this is very unique. How they arrived at this knowledge, I don't know. But this is the power of these ancient texts. And this is the power of the ancient knowledge and how it connects with contemporary knowledge. And also how the ancient knowledge is guiding where future thinking should go, where future research should go, where future recommendation for good health should go. These are very important comments and commentaries that are available to us, and they are valuable for many aspects of getting out, resolving some of the difficulties that we have today. For instance, the health budgets and health costs and ever-increasing health costs across the world in every society without sufficient returns on investment. Perhaps these texts are guiding us to finding simpler solutions, more sustainable solutions, more cost-effective solutions to some of these problems. And I feel, looking back to the ancient, looking back to the past, we will find several recommendations like vegetarian diets, what mothers should eat, what children should eat, what adults should eat, what you should do every decade of your life. Ayurveda, for instance, says that if you live well, your body can go on for 12 decades, 120 years. The first 10 decades is where food and medicine can be used to modulate your body. The last 2 decades is God's gift. Nothing affects there. But the first 10 decades of your life is completely in your hands. You can control yourself, you can control your health, you can control using food as a way to achieve good health. Now, is there modern biological basis for this? Yes, it seems like. It seems like the food that you eat interacts with bacteria in your stomach. The bacteria produce certain molecules that generate an inflammatory response in your body, either a pro-inflammatory or anti-inflammatory response in your body. And these are all aspects and triggers that control your wellness and the general state of health in your body. So ancient texts like Ayurveda offer good insights. India has many other systems of medicine. In the south of India, based on the Tamil thinking and the Tamil culture, comes a whole body of knowledge called Siddha medicine. A great rishi named Kapila gave us yoga, which is a system of treating this body to keep it in good shape, to live a better life. So we have Ayurveda, Siddha, yoga, and the Tibetans up on the northern part of India took Ayurveda up to the mountains and they evolved it into their system of medicine, the Tibetan system of medicine. For instance, there are Tibetan communities now who have improved certain aspects of breathing, just the very simple process of breathing, and improved it to a point where they call it Tumo breathing, Tumo meditation. And people who do Tumo meditation have the ability to control the autonomic nervous system. They can control everything in their body. They can control the temperature response in their body. They can control aspects of their heartbeat, aspects of their appetite. Things that we think are not accessible to the human body can all be modulated by having control over your breathing. Now, this body of knowledge is available to anybody, no matter where. As if you take the shape of this, the human shape, this knowledge comes with it, it seems. Any person who has the shape of a human being has access to this knowledge just because all that knowledge is embedded in your body. You don't have a choice. If you take this body, it comes with this knowledge. Except that some people are more sensitive and they understand this knowledge better and they've written it into text. So that is the Ayurvedic text, and these are available to all. All the Ayurvedic texts written in India are written in Sanskrit, and this becomes a good thing and a difficulty, because if you don't understand Sanskrit, then these texts are not open to you. A good thing because Sanskrit is a language that connects so closely, the language and its grammar and its logic connects so closely with the language and the grammar of the human body and how it works. And the connection, the Pandits and the learned people say, is through the sound of breath. When you are talking, you connect with breath, you connect with how you breathe and how you connect. And Sanskrit is refined to synchronize with how the breath works and how the aspects of the physiology link to aspects of your breathing. And if you go into Tummo meditation, for instance, you can see how you can improve your breath and control many aspects of the body. So the ancient text and the ancient knowledge is there for everybody. It's there in the body and open for anybody to use and to improve your health. Now, when we look at Ayurveda in its details, we find it is not just a system of medicine, but it's a system of wellness. It teaches you how to be well. Now, what is wellness? Wellness is described in 4 steps as the 4 domains of Ayurveda. One is that you're born and you have to do something to keep your body together so that you don't fall ill. Number 2, you remain healthy. You do whatever you're expected to do, food being a very important thing. You remain healthy. and make sure that you remain healthy so that you can live the 120 years that Ayurveda says you can live. Number 3, you do things so that you prevent falling ill. You prevent diseases from coming to you. And the 4th one is, if you fall ill, then it teaches you how to look after and how to come back to fitness. So in brief, how to be healthy and improve on your health with every passing day. So you are healthy, doesn't mean you stay there, you improve your health. Number 2, you are healthy and you remain healthy. What do you have to do to maintain your health? Number 3, you are healthy, and what do you have to do to prevent diseases from coming to you? And number 4, if you fall ill, how to get better. Now, these are the 4 ways in which Ayurveda looks at health. Ayurveda then says that your body and your mind and a mysterious thing called the soul, the spirit. They are the 3 aspects that have to maintain in deep balance, in deep synchrony to keep you healthy. They're like the 3 legs of a stool. All 3 legs have to be balanced, otherwise you're going to fall off. It's like a tripod, like your camera's tripod. You have 3 legs to the tripod of life, and all of them have to be looked after. One is your body. So your body is derived from food. You have to make sure you look after the body by eating the right things. Number 2, your mind and how you think. That is very important for maintaining your health. And the 3rd is this mysterious connection. Whatever is not my understanding of the 3rd, the mysterious connection, described in the text, the spirit, is anything that cannot be explained by number 1 and number 2. We put into a 3rd pot, and that is the mysterious part. Now, the theory, is this just random, or is this derived from some other theory? The thing is, when we look in Indian philosophies and Indian systems, we find that all these things, like the Upanishads I talked about earlier, are based on deeper theories. And the deepest theory is a very simple theory based on a very simple question. What is the connection between me and everything that is outside of me? What is the connection between me and the rest of the universe? And just this one question has given rise to many systems of philosophy in India. There are presently at least 9 systems of philosophy that are present in India. And they've all come out of hundreds and hundreds of years of work by many generations of scholars who have taken this very simple question, analyzed what we call in English a threadbare analysis. The question is analyzed and analyzed and analyzed in such a detail till it's down to the last fiber. And there is no escape. And they give you a set of rules. And one in particular I want to emphasize. This is a system of philosophy called Sankhya. Sankhya in Sanskrit means calculable, mathematical. Sankhya comes to us. Our present calculations is about 33,000 years ago. It's a difficult one to believe. The numbers may be a little around that area. The calculations for why 33,000 years ago is based on certain astronomical cycles. Certain constellations appear in certain places in the sky, and they go through certain cyclical positioning. And when Kapila, the person who gave us Sankhya, Kapila Muni, when he gave us Sankhya, he specified certain constellations. He said, I'm writing these things down at a time when this constellation and this constellation is in a certain place in the sky. And the only time these constellations could have been there, based on our calculations today, is about 33,000 years ago. Now, Kapila's Sankhya is very interesting because it has only 68 sutras. A sutra is like a short statement, like a aphorism, like a quote. They're very short statements. Sankhya's Kapila Sutra, he explains the connection between me and everything else outside in 68 sutras. And based on these 68 Sanskrit sutras, you can derive all the other Vedic sciences. So using as little as the 68 sutras, you can expand out and expand out and expand out and arrive at All the sciences that we call the Vedic sciences. So the 68 sutras help you design better buildings. It helps you design better food. It teaches you how to cook. It teaches you how to dance better. It teaches you how to build better temples and better buildings. It teaches you all those interrelationships between you and the outside. So all of this knowledge, which is there in the text, the Ayurvedic texts, are in fact founded on very deep principles and on a very simple question. The simple question is, what is the relationship between me and everything else that is outside? And the moral that is given to us from this story is very simple. At every moment, you as a person must always be thinking about you as being a part of everything else.